Hello everyone, I hope you're all doing well. Today I've got another deck showcase for you. I am revisiting one of the older decks in the post-rotation Journey Together meta, and that is Miraidon. So obviously Miraidon had quite a lot of success at the end of the last format, taking multiple regional wins. It does lose quite a lot to rotation. There was a lot of V Pokemon that were used in this deck, such as Raikou V, Lumineon V, Rotom V, and Raichu V, and those are going to be, felt. But I still think this deck is viable post-rotation. I mean, we still have Electric Generator, and we still have the Iron Hands, which is sort of what makes the deck broken in a way. I think, just looking at what we've lost, I think Raichu is basically the biggest loss because its Dynamic Spark attack, which did 60 times the number of energy you discarded, was the only way for this deck to be able to one-shot Stage 2 EXs, and there is no card that we can really put in this deck to replace the Raichu in terms of what it did. You obviously could add the Pikachu EX as an attacker, but at that point you have to massively change the energy to be playing Metal and Grass. You can't really play the generators, so I feel like at that point it's just a completely different deck. So I'm going to, what I have done is basically revisit Miraidon, take out the rotated cards, and just try and streamline it and make it as good as possible in this format. So the Pokemon lineup has not massively changed other than the rotated cards. So we still have the 2 Miraidon, we've still got the 2 Iron Hands. I've upped the Magneton count to a 2-2 instead of a 1-1 or a 2-1. We've got the Mew X for a bit of extra draw, the Latias for free retreat, Squawkabilly obviously for the turn 1 discard, 1 Fezandipiti, and then the 1 Iron Bundle as well. Iron Bundle, very useful when combined with the Iron Hands EX, amps you very much, because a lot of the time we have to Arven for our generators instead of using boss's orders or Arvening for a prime catcher, so having the Iron Bundle is pretty good there. In terms of trainers, again, there's not really any massive differences. For supporters, we've got 4 Arven, 4 boss's orders. I think before some Rhydon decks were playing 3 boss's orders, but we have the space now, so we may as well play 4. We are playing the Prime Catcher. I don't think there's any point in playing the Secret Box anymore. I think one of the biggest advantages of playing the Secret Box version was you'd play Area 0 Underdepths, and the Secret Box was the out to find that stadium. Partly because you had Raikou V, and when you combine Raikou V and Area 0 with the extra bench spots, it turned Raikou V into a very efficient, powerful attacker, but without Raikou V, I think there is less of a reason to play the Secret Box in the Area 0 version. In terms of trainers, so we've got the 4 Nest Ball and 4 Ultra Ball as our Pokemon search. I find with this deck, as long as you're able to find Miraidon on turn 1, usually you're able to at least play the game. So we want to be maximizing the odds of finding it, so we've got the 4-4 count. 1 counter catcher just to take advantage of the Magneton line and going behind. 1 prime catcher, which I think is the best A-spec to play in the deck now. 4 generator, which is obviously self-explanatory. 1 Night Stretcher, standard recovery. 1 Rescue Board, and then we've also got 1 Call Bell as well, which is just a bit of added consistency. It means you've got more odds of basically being able to find Arven when you go second. The only other big change to call out is I'm playing 3 Academy at Night, because that synergizes well with Electric Generator, because with Academy at Night we can put an Lightning Energy back on top of our deck just before we play the Electric Generator and guarantee ourselves at least 1 energy from the generator. And I am playing 3 of the Academy at Night because I feel like it's important to find it. I think if you're playing 2, you're probably not going to have it in play that often, so I prefer the higher count there. You could even go up to 4, there's actually quite a lot of space in this deck now, but 3 is the count I've gone for. And then lastly we've got the 17 Lightning Energy. We obviously need to play a high count with the the generator, so that's what I've gone for. So having said all that, let's now jump into some games. So that's us into a game. We are going to be going first. Fortunately, we don't have the Rotom V anymore to take advantage of going first. And we've got not a great hand, but we'll at least be able to get energy into the discard for a potential turn 2 Magneton. Alright, so we're playing against End's deck, most likely Zoroark. I'm just gonna grab Iron Hands and another Miraidon, since we've got the Magnemite already. They're attached to Iron Hands, I think. Yep. I'm gonna Ultra Ball 2 energy for the Squawkabilly. And Squawkabilly. Without the area 0 underdecks, you need to keep an eye on sort of how much we're benching as well, because we don't have a huge amount of bench space, and we do, you know, you're going to want to have Latias and Mew at different points, so something to keep an eye on. We have unfortunately not drawn a supporter, but not to worry. Just debating whether I want to go for the Mew. I think I'm probably okay to end turn there. We might get Ioned, but I think we'll be okay. Yeah, if we not playing the Ultra Ball basically gives us, if we don't get Ioned, it gives us more information for playing it next turn. Okay, so there is the double Zorua bench, which is good for us. We've got the 2 lightning in the discard. I can grab another one if we need to. And we've got the Prime Catcher as well on the ends of Zorua. There, I just need to make a decision whether I want to play another. I mean, I could go for the Mew here, which seems reasonable to me. It just allows us to get through our deck. We actually haven't found any generators yet, but we've still been able to get an Ampy very much off. And there's a generator there, so I think I'm going to go ahead and play that just to thin the deck. And then we've got the Ampy very much for 2 prizes. So you can see with aggressive decks like this, you know, a lot of the time, if your opponent doesn't really get a great setup, and you just start taking prizes, then they just sort of go too far behind by the time they're able to set up, and you just sort of win. This end Zoroark deck does need to establish multiple Zoroarks to be able to sort of do much damage. Okay, but they're going for the Squawkabilly to try and stall, I think. We do have the Nest Ball for the Latias, and we have boss's orders for the Darimaka. And we also have the energy to retreat the Squawkabilly as well, or Squawkabilly. I just need to decide if I want to go for a... I can get the Ultra Ball. Yeah, I think I'm gonna use the Ultra Ball to find the Latias, just so we can get our hand down to be able to use Mew. Patch that here. Play the boss's orders on the Darumaka. Then we'll play the Mew to maximise our draw. Running 3 energy is a bit unfortunate, but does happen when you're playing 17 energy. And then we'll get the second Thank you very much off. And we'll take another 2 prizes. There's the Academy Night and the Bravery Charm. So we are actually not in a great situation for next time, because I'm not going to be able to play my hand down with 3 energies to take advantage of the Mew. But we might get Ioned. We'll see. But I feel like at this point we're so far ahead that it's going to be difficult for them to come back. So they got the defense band. Okay, so that's it. So that actually helped us with that, because with Iona I'm likely going to be able to use the Mew. So yeah, we can attach both Bravery Charm and Lightning Energy and hopefully draw a boss off the Mew for 3. We have already used 2. But yeah, we'll see. Yeah, I mean, I think going for the second Miraidon might have been a mistake, because I could have benched the Iron Bundle to use it. It's Fezandipiti. I mean, you can see this deck just works as well as it did before, right? You've got the generators, the Iron Hands, and the Magneton, so the Thank you very much is still very much in play. Okay, there's the unfirst stamp, so we're going to go down to 2 again. 2 energies, not great. But the user, it might just be the, yeah, it's just the Virtuous Flame. Okay, there's the Academy at Night. Touch 1, 2. Actually, is it worth attaching to the Mew just to give us a different option? Probably not. I'm just going to Miraidon. Then we'll restart for 2. Another 2 energy, not great. Okay, so what I'm going to do then... I mean... I think it's probably best to attack with this. Try and hope that we get... We could attack with the Miraidon, but this thing probably just gets sniped off the bench. Yeah, so we'll just go for the arm press here. This is where they could get a Turo combination going, which would be quite annoying for us to deal with. Now this is the thing I find with the Zoroark deck, is it takes a lot of turns for it to get into this position when it's set up, and like usually by the time you get there, you're only 1 attack away from losing. So you basically have to play Iona and hope that your opponent whiffs. Which obviously I did, but There's going to be a fair number of games where your opponent will not whiff. Yeah, and then we've got the boss's orders there, so this is just one of those games where, like, yeah, they've got us in the lock in terms of they're playing Iron every turn and getting us down to a small number of cards, but eventually I'm going to find what I'm looking for. I don't think they can simultaneously knock out the Iron Hands and Miraidon, which is what they would need to do to win. Okay, then we'll just promote the Miraidon, play the boss's orders, and that's the game. So I think you can see the deck works pretty much as well as before. You're just missing that option. You don't have the explosiveness of Forest Steelstone either, but you're missing the Raichu V. So that is the Miraidon deck revisited. Not too many changes, but I think just streamlining it for the new format is probably the best way to go with this. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.